Alright, so I want to apologize of how late this was. As of this recording, this is probably coming up at around 2 in the morning, but yeah, stuff came up and I couldn't really post it at the times, but better late than never. But yeah, this is going to be the episode review for Keystone Motel. Uh, so yeah, this is another episode that just makes you this is another roundhouse kick in the face of feels, pretty much. And we still got 3 more episodes to go of this emotional pummeling. Yeah. So the episode pretty much is around. It pretty much picks off where we left off with Garnet and Pearl, and pretty much where was I going? Where the hell was I going with this? Pretty much that Pearl is devastated by what she did. She feels like she betrayed Garnet and betrayed the whole group. And justify. And once again, I kind of defend Pearl. On the other half, I'm kind of like, well, you did kind of fuck up on a massive scale here. So, Pearl, you're you. Oh man, poor Pearl. And Garnet's not even speaking to her when Greg comes along, and he pretty much says, "Let's go to I'm meeting someone to get some equipment overnight in the state of Keystone." Yeah, apparently there's a whole state named Keystone in this universe. Which for one split second, let me say this, for one split second, I honest to God thought they were going to say Keystone City. I was like, is the Flash going to show up? I can't be the only one thinking that. It's like when he said Keystone, I was like, do you mean Keystone City? Can we get a mention of Barry Allen or Wally West? No, yeah, we won't get Wally West. Anyway, so yeah, Garnet comes along with Steven and Greg and the tree, and pretty much what happens from there is that Garnet reveals that she's still very angry with Pearl. And it's gotten to the point that Ruby and Sapphire are still arguing about it, and they've actually split up. And this is actually something I really wanted. This is actually something I kind of wanted to see, like, what would happen if they actually had a fight? What if Ruby and Sapphire had a fight and split up? So, here we are. Now, Ruby and Sapphire, I really love that they do the whole fire and ice thing. I really thought that was like, oh, that's cool, fire and ice, total opposites, and they are. Ruby is very headstrong, she's just angry, where Sapphire can, thanks to her one eye, she can see the future, and yeah, she can pretty much, it's pretty much like, oh, we'll get through this, and we'll be stronger from it. To which, oh man, by the way, I love Greg. I really do. Greg's probably one of my favorite characters, not just in Steven Universe, but in animation in general. Like, if I ever made, like, a list of animated dads in animation, Greg would probably be in the top 5. Because Greg, like my good friend Real Manos said in his review, he just rolls with the punches. Because, like, every time, everything that goes on, that goes horribly in this episode, Greg is just like, God damn it. And he's trying to keep Steven happy. No matter what happens, he's just trying to keep Steven happy. And, what more can you do with that? I love I think my favorite moment is when he just opens the door and sees Sapphire in the room, and he goes back outside and he's like, oh great, where's the other one? like he's pretty much been like, God, I gotta deal with this now. I also I think the one joke that made me laugh out loud from him in this episode, and probably one of his favorite lines, since the show's premiere, was when he goes to see a guy he met on the internet for the equipment he came for, and he's like, if I'm not back in I'm going to go meet a guy I met on the internet. If I'm not back in an hour, call the police. Yeah. But no, this episode really delved into something very serious, in my opinion. Well, I'm pretty sure this follows suit with a lot of people, and this really hit me hard. The episode pretty much has this underlying feeling of how children feel when their parents are fighting. And you can clearly see that with Ruby and Sapphire clearly still at odds with one another over Pearl, and it's kind of bleeding into, Steven's life, and he's trying, he literally comes out and says, is it my fault? And that's something very hard-hitting, because when you think about it, that's something all children, even adults, feel when their parents are fighting or there's the threat of divorce going on, and they think it's their fault. They really do. They feel like it's something they did wrong, and I can kind of tell you from experience because when my parents split. They got back to they recently not recently, but they got back together. I know that's not the case for everyone, but yeah, they got back together. But during the time they divorced, in the 3-4 years, they split. It was it was bad. Like at the time, I wasn't a kid, but I still felt like it was my fault. My brother and sister, we all felt like it was our fault, and we were at each other's throats. It was not a good time. Like, we turned on each other at the drop of a hat, and it got bad. So from experience, I can tell you that this really hit me where I lived, because no matter how old you are, you're still gonna feel like if you're ever in this situation. And I'm pretty sure some of you are in this situation or were in this situation, or have dealt with this situation somewhere in your lives, and you look at this and you can't help but feel just that kind of connection there with Steven, of when he says, was it me? And he even says, like, look, we brought that baggage here. Well, paraphrasing, of course, but yeah, we brought this, it's been awful. It has just been completely awful, here at home, and he tried to get away from it, but, all the awfulness was just brought with him. And it's an emotional scene, really. And we also have, Ruby and Sapphire finally get back together, and I love Ruby and Sapphire's relationship, and it's adorable. I know, Rebecca Sugar said that, gems are, they do not really have genders, but as long as they keep calling each other she, I'm just going to call them, they are, as long as they refer to each other as she, as women, they refer to each other as as women would, like she or her. I'm just gonna call it as I see it. These are female. These are women. It's pretty much a same-sex relationship. I know the whole gems are genderless thing, but as long as they keep referring to as she, I'm just gonna say that's a same-sex relationship. But the beautiful thing about this is that even though Garnet is the fusion made from their love, and they are obviously a same-sex couple, they don't throw it in your face. I love how, Ruby and Sapphire's relationship is not thrown absolutely in your face, despite, it kind of is, because their love is kind of made into a totally different character, but it's not like, oh, look, it's not like, to quote from a Simpsons episode, we're lesbians! If you remember the episode and what they were referring to, then kudos to you. But, yeah, I really did love that moment when they got back together, and we clearly see them kiss. And I know it's not, like, on the lip kiss, it's more like on the cheek and even on the neck, and I'm like, oh, wow, that's beautiful. And it's a wonderful moment where we see Sapphire's single eye, and it's something I'm pretty sure the fandom on a whole pretty much suspected, that she had a single eye. And we see when she's crying, it just goes as one single stream. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm pretty sure Ruby Fire or Garnet shippers are pretty much crying right now. I'm again, it was a very emotional scene for me, and again, it really hit me where I lived. So this was another great episode, and we still got 3 more Steven Universe episodes, so I'm fully prepared for another emotional ass-kicking for the next 3 days, more or less. So you guys tell me, what did you guys think of this episode? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What do you think of finally seeing Ruby and Sapphire again? What do you how do you think they're going? Because they're still angry with Pearl at the end of it. Garnet's still angry with Pearl, but it does leave off that there may be a chance that she's going to apologize, and I'm pretty sure by the end of the week we're going to see them apologize. Finally, bury the hatchet. Hopefully not through each other's heads. But yeah, once again, hope you all. I really want to know what you guys think of this episode. Hope you all enjoyed this review, and I apologize again for the lateness. Yeah, it was a day late technically, and I'm posting this like at 2 in the morning. So sorry. But yeah. Once again, hope you all enjoyed this review regardless, and I will see you guys later.